Aloha, and welcome back to the Senate segment of Live at the Legislature. My name is Jacob Aki, and today we're joined by Senator Gil Riviere. Senator Riviere represents Senate District 23, which includes the areas of the North Shore of the island of Oahu. Senator, thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Aloha.
You know, with all of this crazy weather and torrential downpours, your district was one of the areas in the state that was the most impacted. Can you talk about what the impacts of this storm has been for your district and for the people in your community?
Yes, well, the windward side of Oahu gets a lot of rain, and they're familiar with lots of rain. This particular storm really pounded Hauula. It brought every street coming off the mountains became a little river of water. So people where normally they don't experience the flooding were calling me and saying, hey, there's water coming down the highway and across that land that I've never seen before. So it was heavy in Hauula. And then that same storm pushed across the mountain and then dumped a lot of water up in the Kotlaos. And then it went towards Haleiwa. And I think most people are aware of the flooding that occurred in Haleiwa. So Haleiwa is not, they have, in that area, it does flood every several years. So it's not unprecedented of the flooding, but just this year was a lot and a lot more, and a lot of people have been impacted.
Was there any damage to any critical infrastructure?
No, as far as I know, nothing. There wasn't any road washouts or anything like that. People are concerned and they're disappointed or frustrated. The people that were directly impacted, and it's a difficult thing to do. Fortunately, the Opaiula stream has water meters to tell what's going on. So there was a short warning of imminent flood. So the upper meters noticed that the stream was suddenly 3 feet higher than flood stage. So it was at that point that emergency management issued the flood warnings. And of course, the people impacted complained that it wasn't enough time. But I would note that there were flash flood warnings in effect at that time. So if you live near a stream, I think flash flood warnings are really, we have to take them seriously. And you may remember a week or two ago, a couple of people were lost in Maui because they didn't understand what a flash flood was, and they got blown out of the stream. And it's just tragic. So there's a lot to talk about here. Thank you.
I also want to highlight before we move on really the resiliency and the generosity of not just those living in your district, but really of our Hawaii community and what we do when we recognize that there are others who may need help. I know late last week there were a few senators and community organizations that rallied to provide much needed supplies and resources to the Hauula community as well as to other communities on the North Shore. Can you talk about that? Because I really think, during these troubling times, it's so great to see our communities come together to take care of one another.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The communities sprung into action right away. I want to applaud the folks over at the Mormon Church in Waialua. The folks that were behind this want to remain anonymous. They're too humble and kind to want to be identified. But they immediately stood up a website called HaleiwaFloodRelief.com. And there's still right now, there's still updated information as to relief efforts, how people can help and what they can do. And they organized a lot of activity, a lot of cleaning, a lot of supplies, a lot of donations. So they were right out of the gate. Over in Hauula's side, lahuifoundation.org has organized much of the relief over there. And it's just been really heartwarming to see everybody stepping forward, going out there, slogging and mucking and getting debris out. And then, as you mentioned, it's not just in the community. There's other people elsewhere. Senator Misalucha organized an event in Pearl City. Senator Nishihara participated in that, and I went out there. And it was really kind of people to all over to be coming forward. There were people from Makaha and from Waianae and Waimanalo. People are coming from all over to lend a hand. So it was really good. It's good human Hawaii people caring for each other.
It is. Senator, we do have a few minutes left, and I know you have to make your way over to the state capitol, but I do want to cover what are some of your legislative priorities for the session? We are past crossover. The Senate bills have gone to the House, and the House bills have come to the Senate. But what are some of your either priority bills or some issues you hope to tackle in the remaining days of this session?
Well, this is, as everyone knows, this is an unusual year due to the financial constraints of everything. So I'm not trying to do any great new programs or campaigns, but I'm always in support because of the district I represent, which is from Kaena to Kaneohe, basically all of the north and north and windward shores, most of it, the northern parts. We've got so much natural reserves and resources that I'm always advocating for DLNR to increase their funding, to have better doe care support and forestry support. So there's a lot of measures moving through that I'm in full support of that are angling to get them going. We've got other bills that are more practical and universal too, such as catalytic converters. There's a rash of people stealing catalytic converters.
It's all over the news.
Yeah, they're valuable, and so one of my measures is crossing. It looks like it's got some traction and is going to move. Some of the other ideas addressing pollution or shark boat tours is a unique activity in our district. We had a measure going for there. It doesn't look like it's going to pass this year, but many of these projects that we put forth take 2 or 3 years, to get through, to get the momentum, to work out the bugs. And in general, that process is what makes our democracy good.
It is, Senator. And, we have about 52 seconds left. Just wanted to quickly go over, this COVID-19 pandemic has definitely had a huge impact on every community across the state. How has the North Shore been faring? Because I know, tourism is kind of the bread and butter for many people out there in your district, but how has everything played out with this COVID-19 pandemic?
We've been pretty blessed because we're more of I don't know if this is wrong or not, but we're more outdoorsy than, we're not in high rises, riding elevators together.
We're social distance.
Yeah, we're more spread out. So we got a kind of a natural advantage there, ocean and activity and outdoors. So we've weathered this pretty well. We've had low incidence numbers. There has been some concern with the public, the visitors not wearing masks, but in general, people are getting on well.
That's good, Senator. And, we are out of time, but I want to thank you for joining us here. And for those of you at home, please tune in next week, Tuesday at 8:30 for another episode of Live at the Legislature. Aloha.
God, make it a great day. Aloha.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Alelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.